So this is just the weekly updates, and well, this is me as usual. And well, Amazon is investing $4 billion in Anthropic. So they actually give them about a million and a quarter right away, and then I think, and then the rest a little bit later. And this is absolutely amazing. Rise the company from like zero, like 2 years ago, to multi-billion-dollar enterprise. OpenAI is reportedly also trying to raise more funds, and they're now valued at 80-90 billion dollars already, and their projected revenues for this year is about 1 billion, and next year will be much more because they opened their enterprise services. So yeah, 60 years ago we had nuclear arms race and space race, Soviet Union, and this is how it was developed over the years, for example. And today we have AI race, and what's interesting that it's global. US, Europe, Asia, and usually people talk about wave of change or tsunami of change. Now we really have a blast of change. Things are going so fast. I recommend this link, this YouTube video. It's only about 14 minutes, and this is interview with Dario Amadei, who is the CEO of Anthropic. This is amazing interview because it is very concise and at the same time very clear explanation of how the model works. So they have Claude chat, and it's using something called constitutional AI. And the idea is that you don't censor what model does, but you don't give it instructions like how to answer specific questions, but instead you put the model through school where you teach it certain principles of how to behave. And the way they do it, they use two models. One model is in training, so let's say it gets a homework, it gives the answer, and then the second model evaluates if this answer is in accordance to the principles and gives it a rating, and then it goes back and forth through the loop to teach the model to respond according to certain principles. So that's why constitutional AI. They switching from Google to Amazon Bedrock, and there is a whole story about what Bedrock is, and the idea is that if you put your model, like let's say your enterprise, you put it in Bedrock, then this information will be yours. It will not be used by anybody else. It will not be used by the model to train itself. So privacy, security concerns, and so on. Very interesting interview, highly recommend. Another thing about Meta, as you know, Meta is introducing a lot of open source technologies in AI field, and people asking, well, why the hell they're doing it? And nobody knows. Jan LeCun, who is one of the fathers of deep learning and AI, and he is also a chief AI scientist at Facebook, at Meta. Well, he believes that open source solutions will eventually win over private ones like ChatGPT. And by the way, we can already see that original Llama was not as good as ChatGPT, but now we have variations, like more than 30 variations of Llama on Hugging Face, which are better than ChatGPT because of open source community contributions. So, well, he may be right. Anyway, there was a event, 2-day event called MetaConnect 2023, just last 2 days, and there were a lot of new exciting announcements. One of them is this MetaQuest virtual reality thing which you put in your head. Another is smart glasses. Well, smart glasses, this is really exciting. It's like $300. You can put there your own prescription glass if you have prescription, whatever. So this is glasses which have connection to AI, which have cameras and have speakers here in this parts. So you can talk to it, you can ask questions and it will answer and you will hear it. You can use it for video recording. So you look in everywhere and whatever you see, it's being recorded and can be streamed live. So it's amazing. It's like a personal assistant in your glasses. And also they will include AI in many other applications, most notably their messaging applications like Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp and what else they have. So a lot of other developments. I will not go in detail, but this was very exciting event. Status, well, there are a lot of small changes, well, big changes, I don't know. Tesla humanoid, Tesla bot Optimus, right? It learns new tricks. I want to remind that according to Elon Musk, he believes that this robot will be the major value of all his companies together. Alibaba, well, this is Chinese. They're making a lot of progress. Mistral AI or Mistral AI, I don't know. This is interesting. In June, I was telling about this company. So some people from DeepMind and Meta, they created this company. They raised more than $100 million without having any product whatsoever. It was quite amazing. And now they actually came up with their first model, which is like a teaser model. It's a 7 billion parameter model. It's open source. It's put on Hugging Face. And the parameters, it's actually better than all other 7B models. And it's even available on Olama. So to those who are using Linux and Mac, you can download this model from Olama website and try it on your computer locally. I tried, it works very well. Here are some updates from large language model leaderboard on Hugging Face. And this is this Mistral model, you see? So the average quality is 62.4 and the closest competitor is 59, 60. So they won 2.5 points. This is great. And this is their first attempt, right? Yeah, this is great. And you see there are 32 models which are better than ChatGPT 3.5. So, and all these models which are better, they all based on Llama. So what I was talking about. Now, what earlier we listened to the presentation, Elias was talking about search. So this is kind of the diagram of what's going on. We have query, and then it's converted to the vector, goes to the vector base, does similarity search, returns some pieces of text, and then form augmented query, which is fed into large language model to get a response, right? And well, this is what Elias was covering, that depending on how good the embedding model is, it may or may not capture the meaning of the text. These are different embedding models on Hugging Face benchmark. There are about 100 entries in this leaderboard, and there are some models at the top which are better than OpenAI model and at the same time smaller, and you can run them locally and they're free. Just something to know and remember. What is the best embedding model for semantic search? There is no one answer. There's a very good website called SBERT, Sentence BERT, and BERT is bidirectional encoders from transformer, right? Like whole class of models. Okay, I'll skip that. I'll skip that. Okay, how to build LLM from scratch. I just got curious what it will cost in terms of hours or money, and so found some numbers on the internet. So, for example, if you want to train a 100 billion parameter model, it would cost you about $3 million, just the cost of the GPUs. So if you go to the clouds, let's say Lambda is inexpensive, but they would charge $2 per hour for H100 and probably a little bit less for A100. So if you put together how many hours you need to train, you'll come to these numbers. And then, of course, when you decide, what if I'll buy the hardware to train this model, you'll get millions of dollars. Energy is not important. It's literally like 100 times less than the cost of hardware. And you also need to incorporate salaries which are needed. Training of the model, it's a big process. Here I outlined 4 steps: preparing data, architecture required, and selection, the training itself, which are so many variables you have to think about, and finally evaluation of the model. Here is more about costs. Like, for example, if you want to train Llama 2 model in different sizes, 7 billion, 13 billion, 70 billion. So these are GPU hours, and this is estimated cost, and total is $5 million, right? So original Llama was trained using about 2,000 GPUs, 100 for 23 days. So from this, you can do some estimates of how much you pay per GPU or for electricity. And if you would buy the hardware for this kind of training, you will need to spend $30 million. Now, if you're training smaller model, like 7 billion, so here, billion parameters, here it says like about the 300 $1,000, but people actually succeeded spending only 85,000 or even as low as $30,000. So there are some links which showing what people have done. More economical approach is to take the existing model, which was already pre-trained, and then just fine-tune it. And then the cost will depend on how much data you have to like fine-tune the model on, and it may be a few $1,000s, it may be even less than $1,000. Okay. Next is RAG, vector search is not all you need. Remember, there was a famous article that attention is all you need. Well, vector search is not all you need for many different reasons. One of the reasons is that the question and answer don't have to be semantically similar at all, right? And when we're doing search in the vector database, can you please mute yourself? We're looking for similarities, but they may be completely not similar. And vector search, similarity search cannot handle that. Another thing, if you decide to make chunks of text big, then they may have several ideas, and then how you separate those ideas. If you do sentence level chunks, then usually one sentence have one idea, then, well, it's okay, I guess, although it will increase the number of vectors. And then another thing, if the fact, like you're trying to get an answer and it is not limited to one sentence, and maybe it's spread in different places of the document or even between different documents, similarity search will not help you with that. So it's not a panacea. It doesn't work in all. I mean, it's convenient tool, but it's not good by itself. And what people are trying to do, they're trying to add some tags, or they're trying to add some relationships between pieces of information using some graphs. And there are different kinds of graphs you can use how to connect pieces of your data. Okay, these are some articles I found for fine-tuning, running Llama 2, extracting data from documents, and so on. I'll post this on GitHub, and you can explore it, but it actually took me a long time to find some good reading and some good recipes on how to do things. Siraj Raval, well, he is a famous YouTuber. He does very good videos. And what he did recently is train models for smartphones. And these models are small. They're 3 billion parameters, but he is training them to be not generic, but to work for a specific purpose. Like, for example, be a doctor. So you ask a medical question and it would ask you, right? So there are different libraries available for different types of phones already. And yeah, and this is something which is possible to do. People were saying, oh, by the end of 2023, we'll have LLMs running on cell phones. Well, it's September and it's already available. And you can just follow his video and his code and implement it yourself. Okay, Andrew Ng, he published an article where he describes the approach on how you create new AI projects. So there are basically 3 steps. You look at the company, what they're doing, and you break jobs into tasks. Then you evaluate common tasks for AI assistance or automation. You assess their values, and then you select which task you want to try to automate or improve using AI. Very simple approach, but again, he's very successful. He's a great teacher, and this is it. This is the end of the weekly update.